Hi everyone, so I am back yet again, and as I promised you guys, I did go to my nail supplier and I did purchase a little jar of the Gelish Soak Off Gel Polish, and this is one that you can wear on your natural nails. And I also went ahead and bought a full size of the Gelish foundation, and I also did some more research. And of course, sometimes when I try to research something online, I don't always find the right ingredients and products, especially gels. So because I bought both of them, I ended up looking at the ingredients on the back, and because the writing is super incredibly small, I needed to use my loop. So as soon as I looked at the ingredients, I realized that they are exactly the same. So if any of you can have the chance to purchase this one and also has this one, and you will look at the ingredients, they're exactly the same, you guys. However, this one in the little pot costs a little bit less than this one in a little brush application. I really don't know why. They're the same size. Yep, 15 milliliter, 5 full ounces, and this one is also a 15 milliliter little jar, also 0.5 full ounces, so exactly the same as this one is, 0.5 full ounces. So yeah, I think this one might be a little bit more because it comes with a brush already. So the really cool thing is that you can use the brush from this to apply this gel on your nails if you really have to. Okay, so the Gelish Soak Off in a little pot like this was $12. There it is. And with the total, it actually came out to $13.06, so not too bad. This one was $14. I don't have the receipt for this one because he forgot to give it to me, but this one was also not too bad. And actually, considering that if you buy this one, the smaller mini size at Sally's, this one will end up costing you $20, a lot more than this one. So you're better off getting the bigger size bottle if you have to. So anyways, I'm going to show you guys real quick how to use this, and I'm going to patch this nail again because yesterday I caught it in the closet door. I know, it's pretty sad, but it got caught in the closet door, and as you can see, I have this nice fun crack down here. The other one already grew out, so that's great, but now I have this new one that I have to patch. So I'm going to use my Gelish to fix that, and I've already done my prep work on my nail. I'm going to use my pH bond, and then I will go from there. I've got a little patch that I just cut out of silk right here. I'm going to use my tweezers because I don't want to touch it with my fingers too much, and you guys know I've already shown you this so many times. Fiberglass silk in there, a little scissor to cut your stuff with, and I'm going to use that to patch up this nail here. And you're also going to need your acrylic clear powder if you want to give your nail that extra strength, like I've shown you guys before. And if you want, you can also use a synthetic brush for your application of the gel from the little pot. And this is just a Taklon synthetic brush. It's a number 4 shader brush, and you can use this absolutely to apply your gels, but I'm just going to go ahead and use the brush from the foundation because I think I have a little bit better control doing it that way. So let's get started. So it looks like this, a little bit kind of purple hue. Now I'm going to take the brush from my Gelish foundation. One other thing I want to show you guys is that the brush from the mini foundation is actually a little bit longer than the one from the full-size foundation bottle. So look at that. Look at the difference. One is a lot longer than the other, but they work the same really. No difference. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and dip my brush in there and I'm going to scoop out a little bit on just on one side of the brush, just like that. I'm going to zoom you guys in a little bit more, and I'm going to apply a very thin layer all over my nail, and I'm going to pay really close attention, especially here with this crack. So I'm going to try to scrub that gel into the crack so that it really fuses that crack really well so it doesn't crack again. And just going around the cuticle very carefully. So yeah, this applies pretty much just like the foundation gel. As you can see, my natural nail is not damaged from filing or anything like that, and it soaks off really nicely too. I really like this product. I'm very happy with it. I bought enough gel to last me for quite a while, so now that I'm doing soak off gels on my own nails, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's still your natural nail, but you're reinforcing it with a more permanent solution like soak off gels. I only really soak these off if they get if I get a bad crack or break like this, or if they get really stained or very yellowed over time. Otherwise, I don't really soak them off. I just do refills, thin them down as much as I can, because soaking them off constantly can also weaken the natural nail. And I've talked about this with you guys. It can really weaken the natural nail constantly soaking off, whether it's acrylic or gel. That's really what causes a lot of the damage too. So I'm going to cap the free edge. You don't want to forget that. If you need to pick up just a little tiny amount, go ahead and swipe it across the free edge. You can even sweep it underneath a little bit just to really cap that free edge and the sidewalls, just like you would when you're applying the nail strengthener. I'm just going to place that brush back in here. Now I'm going to place my patch right there onto the crack. I'm going to flash cure this for about 10 seconds just so that the silk wrap is going to stick down, and then I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle one coat of my Star Nail clear acrylic powder to give it more strength, and then I'm going to cure that for a full minute in my LED lamp or 2 minutes in your UV lamp. Okay, so I flashed cure the nail for 10 seconds in my LED lamp. Now I'm just going to sprinkle a layer of the clear acrylic powder on the entire surface of the nail, and then I'm going to cure this for 1 entire minute in the LED lamp. And you can see it's pretty much disappeared where that crack was, and it was very visible. Now you can't see absolutely anything, so I'm gonna go ahead and cure. Okay, now I'm going to repeat this step one more time, again with one thin layer of the gelish from my little pot. Grab some gel only on one side of your brush. That should be enough for your entire nail. Put this on the side, and again scrubbing it into the nail, and make sure you don't get it on the skin or the sidewalls because it will lift. And again, you have to cap the free edge. Always remember to cap the free edge. So I think the consistency of this gel as opposed to the one in the bottle, I think it's pretty much the same. They're both fairly thick, which is nice because I like working with gels that are a little bit thicker. You know that they last a little bit longer. Like unlike the Sensation Nail base and top gel, I'm not very thrilled about that one because it's very thin, so you cannot use it to repair nails or anything like that. It just doesn't last. It's too thin for what I wanted to do. So this one is absolutely perfect. I love the Gelish line. I think that their gels are really great. I really like them. Their color payoff is really nice. And nope, they're not paying me to make a video or even talk about their product. This is my own personal opinion. I wish they paid me to talk about this, but let's face it, I don't think they care about my little insignificant nail channel, to be honest. Okay, so now I'm going to sprinkle a coat of the acrylic powder because I don't need to flash cure it now since I already did that the first time. So I'm going to sprinkle. Tap, tap, tap. Make sure you get the sides too and the free edge. I like doing it this way better than dipping my finger in there because that will move all the product and everything all over the place. You don't want that, and it's much more sanitary doing it this way. Alright, so now as you can see, I'm going to go ahead and cure for 1 full minute in my LED lamp. Okay, so my finger is completely cured, and you can use this gel to sculpt the nail, you know, using a form. If you want, you can do that. Now I'm going to go ahead and cleanse my nail. I'm just using some cleanser from IBD, and rubbing alcohol will also work just as well. Now because I put that patch on the nail and I can see it sticking out just a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and just lightly buff the surface of my nail, and then I'm going to go ahead and apply one thin layer of the foundation gel. You can apply one thin layer of the Gelish Structure Gel if you want, but I might as well use this one and just give my nail a nice shine. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So now that it is finished curing for a minute, this is what the nail is going to look like. I'm going to quickly give it a cleanse.